Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we're going to take a look at the Zenkai that's come out for Super Saiyan God SS Goku, who transforms into Kaioken. Now Goku is a pretty exciting unit. I think a lot of people really like him, and yeah, overall he actually looks like probably the first Zenkai in a while that looks like he could not just be bench fodder. Could be a very interesting kind of progression for the unit. So obviously he's received his Zenkai. His transformation is just basically a raw increase, but we're going to talk about the comparison between his old abilities and his new abilities, and just obviously discuss kind of how those have changed. So obviously Goku is a Son family Saiyan God Ki, Super Saiyan God SS kind of character from the God of Destruction Champa saga. So when he first kind of went Kaioken Goku before we got the Ultra Rare. His special move has, changed slightly, but nothing too major. Same with his main ability. Realistically, nothing too crazy. He still transforms, still does all of that. It just cancels attribute downgrades now and abnormal conditions on top of that. Then in terms of his special skill, again, also nothing too crazy has changed here either. So on the form of things, realistically, nothing too wild. His times 10 transformation does matter for his special key, but those haven't really changed. His Zenkai abilities or his Z abilities are for yellow and God Key, so pretty nice stuff overall. God Key, obviously a pretty good coverage kind of area, and yellow actually gives him some pretty good coverage for a lot of decent yellow God Key units, not including the Super Saiyan 2 Trunks and Vegeta unit. So overall, pretty good kind of combination. His unique abilities have changed. So obviously he has his whole Saiyan speciality. Nothing too crazy here in terms of changes. Some card arts, draw card speed, and reduction to strike and blast costs, which is obviously pretty good. And depending on the transformation, it also applies just how much his actual overall transformation is. In terms of his base form, he's got some slight changes, some slight reworks, but nothing too wild overall. Just in general, some pretty solid adjustments to kind of add into his existing kit. Ability to restore his own vanishing gauge. His vanishing gauge or vanishing step does obviously beef him quite a bit, and limit breaking Saiyan gives him some additional buffs, just overall damage reduction, overall increase to strike damage, and overall key recovery. The thing is during his transform state, he actually becomes quite devastating. He is a very, very good strike arts damage dealer. So it's actually, he looks like the first Zenkai in a while that's going to be very, very good. As always with the Zenkais, you get Zenkai power from the Battle Gauntlet, and you get from the missions. The missions will give you 4,000. Battle Gauntlet will give you 3,000. In general, it's a pretty easy way to get your hands on the Zenkai power. Obviously, since they've made Zenkais free, it's been pretty easy to get 4 or 5 in the Zenkai without having to pretty much spend anything. The missions are very straightforward, most of them requiring you to use a Super Saiyan God SS character, doing hyperdimensional co-op, and obviously doing some PvP, but nothing too difficult. As always, the missions are pretty straightforward, just requiring you to do your daily missions. And then in terms of the Battle Gauntlet, the units that are buffed or bonus characters are quite evident and quite obvious. So we'll take a look at that in a separate video. But yeah, it's the new Trunks, it's the old Trunks, it's the free-to-play Goku Rose, and the future Gohan that are going to be prevalent. But you also have Hit and Goku Black as options as well. And yeah, that is pretty much it in terms of like how to get a Zenkai. Obviously, I think his Zenkai is actually looking pretty nice overall. In terms of the kind of like units that get a buff from being on Goku's team, there's some pretty good units that do get a buff from being on his team. So you've got the Legends Limited Gogeta Blue, you've got the Legends Limited Vegeta Blue, so the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta as well. So you've got some decent options there. Both the Vegeta and the Gogeta are also strike So that kind of fits nicely into his team build, and you can build a decent God Key team around them. Probably run all three as kind of like a pairing on a team, maybe with some additional God Key bonuses, and then maybe like with a lead in the form of either the SS4s, who are more like a kind of malleable lead. So yeah, that's it. Basically, when it comes to pretty much everything, the ultra rare Goku is also buffed by him, but he's more range type, as is the Trunks and the Vegeta. So you know, maybe you can include them as a singular option, but you don't necessarily want them. You want to kind of keep strike cards up as a prevalent factor for this guy. But that's it, really. Zenkai looks pretty good, and excited to see him. I don't have him at 7 stars yet, but I should be able to get him there, and we'll be able to take a look at them in a video. But that's it. Let me know your thoughts, and bye.